Welcome to Love and the Bug.
I'm Rianne.
And I'm Sammy.
And we've been friends for over 20 years.
When COVID-19 pandemic began, we decided to get our heads together and find out from friends how they were really coping in this awful pandemic.
We were especially interested in how it was affecting their relationships. So we thought we'd get a few of them together and interview them. They're all of similar age, but all with very different stories and experiences.
We hope you enjoy it.
In this episode, we talk to the truly unique character that is Joe. He talks candidly about the breakdown of his marriage, sadly just before the lockdown was imposed, and how the increased isolation has affected his mental health.
So let's start, Joe, with you saying your name, age, where you are in the country, and your occupation, please.
It's Joe Aggio, 39, and I'm a retail manager stroke director.
Excellent.
And where are you living?
Hertfordshire, Hertford.
Lovely. So, Joe, unfortunately, your marriage actually broke down very suddenly and unexpectedly just before the COVID-19 outbreak, which, you know, is horrendous, and sorry that you've had to go through that. And we won't go into the details of that because that's obviously very difficult, but in practical terms, how has having to go through a situation like that been with dealing with the lockdown at the same time?
Horrendous.
Oh,
That's the word I would use. Horrendous. Devastating. The main one is the loneliness of it.
yeah.
The conversations you can have in your head are just, and the scenarios of being on your own to try and figure out like what to do or how to try to move forward in being a positive, doing a positive out of a negative. It took me a while to figure bits out, but then people like friends and family and my actual next door neighbour pushed me to be going out to do walks and stuff like that and carry on going to work to try and get through it, which I'm still going through it, but it's easier. It's getting easier.
Because obviously, usually at a time like this, when something like this would happen, you would be wanting to be surrounded by friends and family. You'd want to go round to see your mum and give her a big hug. You'd want to go down the pub and have a pint with your mates and get some advice and love. And that's all been taken away from you just when you desperately need that.
Well, kind of. Well, in a sense, it's the advice from friends and family, more like over the phone, as you all know, Rianne, has been amazing anyway. So it has been a bit like that bit's not been the problem. It's the physical effect of seeing a friend or seeing my mum. Having that physical part of it is the bit that hurts the most.
Because sometimes we just communicate with a hug and that's enough.
Yeah.
Just wrap our arms around someone and you just feel connected and it's like, oh, okay, I feel better.
It's the endorphins in the hug that makes you feel better, and you've got to find a way to get them endorphins. Is it endorphins? I don't know how you say it.
Dolphins, endorphins.
Yeah, endorphins.
One of those.
One of those. Thank you for correcting me. But it's me going out and losing myself while walking. In the countryside, not having anything in my ears, like listening to the rap music or anything like that, like listening to the birds, listening to even the bees, believe it or not, around me, has made me appreciate the outdoor a bit more.
So could you potentially take some positives from this in terms of, you know, it feels like the world has almost stopped. It's given you a bit of quiet contemplation time where you can really, you know, soak it all in and think about, you know, where you want to go, yeah, your future and how you feel about the situation. Whereas without the lockdown, you know, there would have been the crazy hubbub of normal life, and it's difficult, isn't it, when you're going through something like that? You just want a bit of quiet time, you want a bit of space, to be able to think those kind of things through. And so in a way, could it be positive that this has happened? Has it given you a bit of time and space?
It's given me, with the certain things that I'm very lucky to have in my life, which is a hobby, which has given me the positives on that, me improving that. The negative is the failure that makes you go in your head over the relationship. Where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong? And now it's given me the other option of how can I improve if, which has made my mind up I will never get into another relationship again because of this. I've learned lessons.
Yeah.
Jo, have you had any epiphanies from this? Because sometimes when you come out of a relationship, you learn so much, and obviously you've been on a hell of a journey learning about, well, lots of things. Have you had any moments of clarity and gone, oh wow, yeah, I could have, or is your head still quite fuzzy? And
what sadly, Samantha, that clarity or
wisdom, shall we say?
Wisdom or won't come until I get the answers I need, which I may never get, which is why one of the big decisions I made, which is a definite one, I can't be here anymore. I have to move on. And if that moves on where I'm on my own, because that's one thing that before my relationship, I was lonely, but I just got on with my life with other things. But I've let the world in the 39 years fly over my head, and just go past me. I've not done anything positive. Do you know what I mean? And seen a bit of met different people. It's like all my friends I've got in my life and my family, they're there. I know they're there. That's what we do for each other. But I need to meet different humans, different people.
To expand, and I do that. You mean to
say again?
Sorry, like to expand as a person. Do you feel like
expand? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And obviously that's not possible at the moment because of lockdown. So, but has it helped you get to that realization? You know, the long walks in the country, like you were saying, the quiet contemplation time. You've kind of decided that that's the way you want to go, and now, you know, you just kind of almost want to get on with it, don't you? And actually do that, and we can't. It's
where I want to go. I know that's opened up again. But I've got to wait for a couple of more months before I have some money to sort that situation out. I know I've saved a hell of a lot of money. I know that much. I don't know how I've saved it.
Because of the lockdown. Because you're not going out, you're not able to gamble, you're not able to go down the pub, you know.
And that's the thing. And now I've saved this money, and I'm still saving money, but I'm not spending half as much as what I was. And it's I don't know how I've done it, but it's partly to do with the separation. And that's with me even having more bills to pay.
Yeah.
So you feel, Jo, then, that once we all start to get back to normal life, that this is like a chance for you to completely go on a new chapter and just reinvent yourself, essentially?
That will be the plan. There is no maybes or
that's brilliant.
It's a thing, because there's a lot. As much as I I'm very close to my family as well as all my friends, but my family unit is quite close. It's made me realise that I need to get away from them too, which is it's sad to say that, but I know family will always be there, but I won't be, because it can get on top of your family, especially as I work with them as well.
I was going to say, so you work with your family, you're very close to your family, you spend a lot of time with your family. So I guess this has given you
more of itchy feet.
Yeah, a bit of a shake up to go, do you know what? I really want to just go and do something off my own back, on my own 2 feet, and effectively start again. Like just have a fresh start, new beginnings.
Living by your own rules.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not even my own rules, because there's always rules in the world. And the one thing I thought I was doing in this world was doing the right rules. But in this way, you can't do wrong for doing right, and you can't do right for doing wrong.
I think, Joe, please yourself after this.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with you, Sammy. It is about pleasing yourself, but you've also got to think of the other people out there as well, which is why which I'm very lucky.
You don't have to be a dick. You don't have to be a dick in pleasing yourself. You just have to be a kind person and live by your own rules.
I was a dick back a long time ago, when I learnt my lesson through a good female friend of mine, who made me not realise not all women are just bits of meat. They're humans with hearts. Yeah.
Well, that was a good lesson to learn. Thank you for that.
First step.
But I learnt that 15 years single, and I hated women. If I'm honest, this has made me a bit more go back that way again. But as I say, luckily I've got more female friends than guy friends who are willing to give me a slap around the face to say you're not going that way. But I also know that I do need to meet different people and people to meet me.
Yeah, to give you a different perspective.
Yeah.
A completely different view on life generally. I think that would be really good.
Well, once, because as Marianne knows, that my little hobby on the side, I think even you know, Sammy, from Instagram, is that I really do need to up that. And only tomorrow I've signed up for a 4-week course to.
So what is the hobby for people that don't know?
Photography. I don't like to call myself a photographer, because I get embarrassed by it, because there's other people, or anyone can pick up a camera or a phone like I do and take a picture. It's a lot more about the photographer than it is the picture. But
so have you found that because of lockdown and you going on these country walks, that's helped you progress that hobby as well?
It's helped me progressing that hobby. It's also made me realise that I'm actually, without saying big-headed, I'm quite good at it.
I've seen some of your photos, and they're absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I've seen them, Joe, and they're gorgeous. And go for it.
That's what I'm going to do. But I need the one thing I do need out of all of this is a certain bit of clarity, and the clarity that I'm not getting, which is making me have a mental block, because I don't know how to move forward through that mental block.
Can I ask you, Joe, if you're seeing like a therapist, not seeing, but speaking to a therapist?
I spoke to a therapist when this first happened, just before Christmas. She put me on the right direction of where I wanted to go, and how I got to improve things, which I thought I was doing. I haven't seen her since my wife come back the first time, because there's no point in me going to see her again. I know it's bad to say it, but there's no point in me going to see her again, because there is no one in this world, no one that can tell me where to go or how to do it, because there's only 2 people that can do that, and one is myself, and the other one is my wife, my separated wife, who was put me in this situation.
But sometimes it's not about being told what to do. It's just being, you know, having an outlet to try and make sense of things, to understand yourself and where you want to potentially go and move forward, and how to do that, because sometimes everything can feel so muddled and confused that you just need sometimes it's just about saying it all out loud, isn't it?
Well, as you well know, Rhiannon, I come to only a handful of people in my life that are a lot more savvy, bright, and know what they're talking about, and there's only a handful of people in that I actually talk to, because the last time this happened, Sammy, I spoke to thousands of people about stuff, and what I should have done was not bother doing that, but talk to the people, just keep it to one. So that's what I've learned this time, and
quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
we've all done that, yeah.
This time it's a bit harder though, Sammy. So I'm trying to do my own
work.
How has the COVID-19 situation generally affected your mental health? Has it
badly?
Do you think it would have been any different if this hadn't happened, the lockdown?
I don't think I would have tried to commit, let's just say, silly, stupid and selfish thoughts. I don't think that would have happened. I think because I would have been able to come and see my friends,
get the support that you needed. Yeah.
As I said, you can have a conversation with somebody and feel better, but you can't have that physical, as you said, Sammy, hug.
Dolphins,
yeah.
Yeah, so true. You can have a gazillion Zoom calls, but it's not the same.
Actually, my sister, she's tried to do this pub thing where there's all the family members, and she invites me every Friday for a pub or a big bingo thing, and I can't stand it, because it's not the same as being in a pub, having a pint on your own and drinking it. And people don't have thousands of conversations. When you're in a pub, you talk to someone and they listen. You don't try and interrupt the conversation there, but there's thousands of other people on it, and it just, I've only joined it a few times and got bored and turned it off.
I'm with you, Joe. I can't even stand quizzes, and I've been roped into about 50 since the lockdown, which has been a torture.
I've only had one, and this is my second one with you guys.
I feel your pain. It's painful.
But as I say, I've realised I'm never going to. That's one thing that I've definitely realised, Sammy, is I will never fall in love again.
Well, never say never. You're really hurting at the moment, Joe.
No.
Time is an incredible healer. And of course you feel like that now, but you never know what's around the corner. Don't give up hope.
Oh, yeah, but I know, Rhiannon. That's one thing I've got is hope. But this is my third strike, and I'm done with that point of life. I'm even, to be honest, I'm done with the physical part of that. That's made me think of it a bit more as well, where there's only so much heartache a human body can take, let alone mental.
Joe, I think
Sorry.
It sounds really corny, but I think what you can actually do is, I think the biggest relationship that you need to work on is falling in love with yourself. And
I know that.
And that will come. And I think once you start doing that in the future, you'll be amazed at where that will take you in life. But focus on yourself at the moment, and self-care, and getting yourself better as much as you can.
Trust me, I'm trying. with these walks, and obviously the beautiful tan face going on at the moment. It's making me feel better being outdoors, and I'm realising how work, I've just totally not enjoying working there anymore. Because I'm having to go there and be bored out of my tree when I'm thinking I could be out, I don't know, it sounds really corny, but I'd rather be out taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even if that's a realization that you've come to through this, you know, that's it. It's just, you know, it's hammering it home to you what actually what makes you happy and what you want to be doing with your life. So so you're still working. So is that
Yeah.
because the shop that you run sells food?
It was originally. It was a calf. It was a newsagent stroke calf stroke bar all in one. But obviously, due to the seatings in normal calves, we had to take our chairs away. We had to shut the bar down so people can't be in the bar, and we've turned it into a convenience shop like it used to be back in the day to serve people around us. My little brother and sister are doing deliveries Monday to Friday as well as Saturday and Sunday to the people around us.
That's amazing.
Help with the money, because obviously the financial side of this is hitting not just us but everyone around this world hard.
It's incredible how resilient and flexible the country's been, isn't it? You know, with just turning whatever business you do into something useful in these times. I just think that's a massive positive which has come from the country, just how flexible we've been and how we can just think on our feet and turn things around like that. I think it's been great.
As I said to you before, a long time ago, Rhiannon, do you remember that thing about, it was about Brexit, but remember I said Great Britain is great for a reason, and that's for the people in it, people that work in it, not just British, but everybody that's in it works together, can do something together.
Yeah.
For instance, it's like when I went out for one of my walks, I bumped into a young lady.
Hopefully not literally.
No.
Hopefully a 2 metre apart bump.
It was definitely the self-distancing part, which you keep reminding me about. I know. And I do it. Sam, trust me, I'm waiting for you to have a go at me. I'm waiting for it.
Saying a word.
Yeah, because you don't have to. That little face says it all. Me bumping into that lady, that girl, to help her to catch and rescue them 5 chicklets.
Aww.
And we did that with self-distancing and worked as a team to get these chicks. So you can work together via self-distancing and still work as a team. Yeah. And that's what Great Britain does. They work as a team to get things done.
Yeah, it's just people,
like
people are just having to do it slightly differently. That must have been a massive sense of satisfaction and to be able to rescue some chicks.
Well, I made 2 new friends out of it. One of them was a female, very attractive one, I must say.
Andy, you changed your tune.
Yeah,
that didn't take long.
It's like Rhiannon, I find you attractive. It's like Sammy, I find you attractive. You can find women attractive, but you don't have to.
Well, we are attractive, Joe. There's no doubt.
I mean, yeah, you're only human.
Exactly. You always, it's like I find the males. I find some males attractive. Some just.
That's a whole podcast, isn't it, Joe? Hey?
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So
new beginnings.
Person like that. It was just the accomplishment of you can do something in a whole. As I said, the country can work together to get things done.
Yeah.
And they will continue to do so.
I think we do have that kind of work ethic and that camaraderie in this country. We've always had it, and we do all pull together in times of crisis. And sometimes crisis actually makes people happy, because you don't usually get the opportunity to do something nice for somebody else for no apparent reason, or to think outside of the box and to work together as a team. I think sometimes you do draw a lot of self kind of pride from those kind of situations that you wouldn't usually get the opportunity to do. I think, yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's like with me. With some of the pictures I've actually printed off, I've given them to a few people already with personal sayings on the back. Obviously, I can't frame them, but I've given them to people. And I've got one coming. Believe it or not, I actually asked a customer. He was saying to me he was building bird boxes because he's so bored because he can't do any work. I've asked him to take the to make me a frame for this picture for a certain friend of ours, Rianne and Sammy, because I was told she needs cheering up. So I'm hoping this guy can give me get the frame so they have the picture in it. We'd still have the saying, the positive saying on the back to give to her from a safe distance.
That's lovely. So
That is
these are
lovely.
photos that you've been taking, and you've been writing positive messages on the back.
Yeah, I was going
People.
to try and give them because I know a couple of I've already given 2 to one. One was to a cancer nurse, and at the same time gave her a picture with, as well as a patient, and I both put positive messages on the back of them to give to her and the patient, which she said she could give to someone. So I'm trying to do as much as I can. I'm only a small drop, but you know what I mean. I think karma comes back and bites you on the arse sometimes, and this is my karma.
You were talking about endorphins earlier, and dolphins. But so much happiness comes from doing nice things to other people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And when you're in a time of real trauma and turmoil, and sometimes it's not easy to think like that, to think, oh, do you know what, I'm going to do something nice for somebody else, but you're doing that, and then I just hope that you're getting the rewards from that, just the feelings. And
well, the only time I get the rewards is once within myself, I'm not here. That's when I know my reward. When I'm not here, that'd be my reward. When I'm talking to someone totally different.
When you've moved on, and you feel like you've started a new life, and yeah,
it was like that story I met about that guy in the shop on Friday. He came in the shop and he told me he was the bloke on the front page of the Radio Times.
Oh.
It's like that. Wow, who are you? You know, and there's loads of them. There's loads of people like that out there with different stories.
Oh, everyone's got a story.
Sammy, you got more, I know.
Yeah. Well, I've got a book. I've got
a few.
Yeah.
But what's I saying? But yeah, that'd be my positive effect if I can somehow get away and start afresh. I don't want to just do what my wife's just done to me, which is make me feel I exist.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Sometimes you get made to feel a certain way, and what you take from that is that you're going to do absolutely everything in your power to make sure you never feel like that again. And that is such, I mean, it's really hard to find positives in times like this, but that is such a massive thing to take away. It's like, no, you're not going to do this to me. I do exist, and I'm going to prove it, and I'm going to be somebody, and I'm going to be proud of myself.
As you well know, Rianne, I did do one video which was right at the start, which was one of the most difficult things I had to do in a video wise to anybody, and not to hear anything back from that particular video.
But it's interesting that you've had to do videos to contact your wife, because you can't physically go there. You can't, you know, that there must be so many mixed emotions, and it must be so confusing.
But I mean, it's the nicer humans with hearts and souls who, like you two are doing, make you feel better about yourself by getting out and giving a story for people. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, this must be incredibly difficult for you to talk about, and so we are so appreciative that you're doing this. You know.
Well, do you remember that thing I told you about about the butterflies, about giving knowledge? Do you remember me telling you that?
Yeah, you saw 2 white butterflies, and then you saw 2 black butterflies,
which mean some different things in different sayings, but that means giving knowledge. And that's why I'm like, well, this is me giving my knowledge in a sense.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, beautiful. I know.
Beautiful. Right, Joe, we are going to wrap that up.
Okay.
But thank you
I'm
so
go-
much
I'm
for being
actually-
part
I'm
of our
actually
podcast.
I'm gonna go for a half an hour walk now. Anyway.
Go for a walk, get outside,
Do some photography.
lots of healing and time and good things, and just
Well, that's the one thing, Sam, I did figure out. You haven't got that much time.
no. So make the most of it and do what makes you happy.
Exactly. Yes. All right, ladies.
Okay.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Joe.
Love you, bye.
Sending you
Love
healing
you.
love.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to our podcast.
Check out the next episode for another one of our amazing mate stories.
See you next time.